We have team coverage this morning on the Texas flooding disaster. Lauren Crawford is in our newsroom following the latest from that news conference. And our Madison Sawyer is in Kirk County with a live perspective from the ground. We want to start, though, with Lauren for the latest on that news conference. Lauren.
Hi, Karen. Well, here are the headlines from the news conference. Here in the last hour, the bodies of 56 adults and 30 children have now been recovered in Kerr County. Now, right now, 5 Camp Mystic campers and 1 counselor are still unaccounted for.
Over and over, I've asked you to pray. It occurred to me that I haven't asked you for what to pray specifically. Please pray for those who mourn, for those who wait, and for those who help.
Heavy equipment and cadaver dogs and dozens of volunteers continue to comb through the debris along the riverbanks, searching for the victims still unaccounted for. The Kerr County Sheriff says the last person they found alive was last Friday. Now, questions continue to be asked about the warning system, what officials did, and when. The news conference became contentious as leaders were being pressed.
And we're in the process of trying to put a timeline. You know, that's going to take a little bit of time. As I've told you several times, that is not my priority this time. There's 3 priorities. That's locating the people out there, identifying and notifying the next of kin. That is what I'm taking as my job as sheriff here to do. Okay.
With all due respect, sir, I think that the community here is asking these questions. What happened? When did it happen? Was the emergency manager awake at the time? Did they push the button to issue an emergency alert?
Sir, it's not that easy when you just push a button, okay? There's a lot more to that. And we've told you several times.
So did it happen, sir?
I can't tell you at this time.
Now, the next update will be at 5 o'clock this evening when Governor Greg Abbott and other state leaders will address the community and the media. We will, of course, bring that to you here on CBS News Texas. Karen, back to you.
All right, Lauren, thank you so much. Now, we have seen the images of the destruction, but it's nothing like seeing what's happening firsthand. For that, we want to turn to our Madison Sawyer. And Madison, you've been there in Kerr County for a couple of days already. Can you describe for us what you've seen?
Yeah, to set the stage for you, I mean, the devastation, the destruction, the loss of life, it's hard to comprehend. You see the pictures on social media, you see the videos, but to really see the scale of how many miles of riverfront these crews are having to search, it really is extensive. What's also impressively large is the volunteers that have shown up from around the country, even around the world, to help right here on the ground in Kerrville. Right now, I'm standing at Kerrville Pets Alive. It's a nonprofit organization that's all about saving animals and saving pets in particular, dogs and cats. And they've been hard at work for the last 5 days working to not only rescue dogs and cats from the floodwaters, but also to reunite them with their families. Some of these pets that they're finding don't even have families to return to. The families may have been killed in the floods. They may not have homes to return to. So Kerrville Pets Alive is doing whatever they can to meet the needs of these pets that now need their support, including veterinarian care. So coming up tomorrow, I'm going to have much more on this story. But look behind me at this UPS truck. All morning long, they have been unloading box after box after box of donations. There's been a UPS, a USPS, a U.S. Postal Service truck that's been on the grounds as well. They've unloaded probably close to 100 boxes from the USPS truck. Now the UPS truck is here, and there are still more boxes to unload. So that's the amount of donations that are pouring into organizations just like this. In fact, they're almost at a point where they're saying, hold on, we need to just pause the brakes for a second to be able to kind of evaluate what we do need and what our needs still currently are. As for the loss of life here, it also is tremendous, and that is part of why so many people are coming to this area to support in any way they can. It's grief that is promoting them to do whatever they can to help their neighbors here in Texas.
I know that a lot of families and communities lost a lot of things, whether it was their family members or we're here out like at an RV park right now where there's absolutely nothing left, and just to help so they can get it back up and running.
Now, we also know that the loss of life has already touched the DFW area. We know that there were multiple children killed in the floods from Camp Mystic that were residents of Dallas. We also learned this morning that Pat Green, country music artist Pat Green, and his wife suffered a tremendous and personal loss in this flood. This morning, Pat and Corey Green posting on Instagram saying that Pat's brother John, his sister-in-law Julia, and 2 of their children were swept away in the floodwaters. So again, we are continuing as these days progress of search and rescue, just hearing more and more stories of heartbreak, but also heroism and people stepping up to meet whatever needs they can to be there for this community in their time of need. And I want to bring in real quickly a little sign of hope that came through the door literally just this morning. Karen Johnson, you are the director of the dog rescue operations here at Kerrville Pets Alive. Tell me about this little guy that came in the door today.
Well, she was found on a remote area that has a tributary that comes off of the Guadalupe, and one of the workers working on the bridges down there said that she came running up to them asking for help, and so they scooped her up and brought her here to Kerrville Pets Alive.
And now y'all are going to be working with a local vet team to be able to figure out what kind of care she needs and then hopefully reuniting them with their owner. Again, it's just one tiny story of just a little bit of hope amidst so much devastation and destruction here in Kerrville. Karen.
And people look for those signs of hope, and it means everything to them right now. Madison, thank you very much.